вот этого парня нужен человек, который будет 24/7 контролировать его и останавливать, чтобы он не тренировался. Очень работоспособный.
I think if Khamzat wins this one, especially if he wins decisively, he'll be like a huge name, right? That might come with him taking a lot of time off after.
UFC 319 is fast approaching, and fans are eagerly awaiting the highly anticipated clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis for the middleweight title. Khamzat has been training intensely, looking bigger and sharper than ever, with Arman even revealing that someone has to step in to stop him from over. Meanwhile, Dricus Du Plessis is equally determined to hold on to his belt, pushing hard in his own training camp. However, Arman Tsarukyan pointed out that Khamzat often enters fights below 100% due to overtraining. To address this, Khamzat has a coach who monitors him daily using a recovery tracking device to better manage his workload.
Он любит очень много тренироваться, его на тренировках надо останавливать. Допустим, поспарринговал, идет там мешок бьет, там, лапы бьет, потом пойдет штанг покачается. Он из тех парней, которым нужно остановить и сказать, порастягивайся, уходи. Его проверяют каждый день, его восстановление, он встает, и есть монитор, где показывает его восстановление каждое утро. Если будет в яме, то
из ямы
вытаскивает, дает больше отдохнуть, чтобы он был свежий, выполнить. Потому что ты, если придешь перетренированный на спарринг, ты не сможешь отработать. И из-за этого парня нужен человек, который будет 24/7 контролировать его и останавливать.
Arman Tsarukyan has observed that Khamzat Chimaev's training has reached an entirely new level. He describes the gym atmosphere as electric and full of purpose, praising the team's sharp and driven approach. While Arman hasn't ruled out sparring with Khamzat in the future, he makes it clear that he respects anyone fully committed to chasing a title and is always willing to share his experience with those striving for greatness.
We have a training camp. With Khamzat Chimaev. He's getting ready for his title fight. He looks sharp. So excited for him and to see him UFC champ. So far, his camp going well. He's healthy. He has a lot of energy, and I'm just here to help him whatever they need. If they need the wrestling, I'll wrestle. If they need the striking, I'll strike. So I'm here to help, and I want him to be.
On the other hand, Reinier de Ridder expressed that he'd prefer to see Dricus Du Plessis beat Khamzat Chimaev, explaining it would be better for division activity. He noted that if Khamzat wins decisively, he could become a massive name and might take time off afterward. De Ridder hoped Dricus would win instead, saying it would make it easier to line up a fight within 4 to 6 months.
Towards in terms of like which one would you prefer?
Well, Khamzat is, of course, I think if Khamzat wins this one, especially if he wins decisively, he'll be like a huge name, right? That might come with him taking a lot of time off after. So it might be better if he wins, and then we can fight in 4 to 6 months. That would be better.
Sure, like the reality is like Khamzat could win but then be out for a year, and I know you don't want to wait that long.
Nah, exactly. So hopefully it would be nice if he just wins and we can land.
Reinier de Ridder also shared that he doesn't consider Khamzat Chimaev the scariest opponent in the division. While he respects Khamzat's talent, he believes there are other fighters who are more well-rounded and fight with greater strategy and composure. In de Ridder's view, their overall skill set and calm demeanor would pose a tougher challenge than Khamzat's aggressive, high-paced
in your
style.
division?
Not by me. Not by me. I think there's better fighters in the division, to be honest. More complete guys. I think we don't really talk about them as much. But the French guy, what's his name?
Imavov?
Imavov. He's very complete. He moves very well, very relaxed, very smart when he fights. I think that might be a harder fight, to be honest. But Khamzat is, of course, is a great fighter.
Reinier de Ridder leaned toward Dricus Du Plessis as the favorite, highlighting DDP's aggressive starts and relentless early pressure. He noted that it's still difficult to gauge where Khamzat Chimaev truly stands, as the quick finish against Whittaker didn't reveal much. While de Ridder acknowledged that Chimaev may have improved significantly since then, he believes there are still too many unanswered questions to be fully confident in his current level.
Yeah, hold anything back anyway in the first couple of rounds. So that's why I feel like Dricus might be the favorite in my mind, but we'll see. We haven't seen Khamzat as active. We didn't see a lot from him in the Whittaker fight because he just took him down, stayed on top, and then finished him pretty quickly. So I'm curious. Maybe he evolved a lot as well. We don't really know where Khamzat is at because he might have just really upped his game and really evolved as a fighter as well.
Meanwhile, in a recent interview, Khabib Nurmagomedov broke down Dricus Du Plessis as a tough and relentless champion ahead of a potential title defense against Khamzat Chimaev. He described Dricus as a pressure-heavy fighter who maintains high activity from start to finish, while acknowledging that Dricus isn't the most precise striker. Khabib highlighted his non-stop pace, high volume, and constant movement as key weapons that make him a difficult opponent to handle.
Интересный соперник. Он очень крепкий, он будет драться. Такой своеобразный кикбоксинг, руки-ноги выкидывать. Вот что хорошо, вот что плохо у Дюплеси, такой точный, но он очень много выкидывает. Он очень постоянно выкидывает руки-ноги, постоянно он в атаке, если вы смотрели. Вот даже Стрикландом, я в этом бою конкретно ошибся. Я думал, что Стрикланд своим давлением все он должен взять. Но он его перебил. Перебил как своим. Он очень много накидывает, он не стоит. Бывают такие бойцы, вот они заходят, он так думает, кидает, смотрит. А бывают такие, не так сильно у них техника, но он очень много накидывает.
Khabib Nurmagomedov said he would advise Khamzat Chimaev to keep the fight standing against Dricus Du Plessis, believing Khamzat holds the edge in pure boxing. He cautioned Chimaev against chasing an early finish, warning that expending too much energy early could cause him to gas out. Khabib also pointed out that Chimaev has never truly been tested in the later rounds, whereas Dricus has proven experience going deep into fights.
Мое личное мнение, я бы Хамзату посоветовал бы, чтобы он в стойке дрался. Вот чисто по боксу пустых, Хамзат лучше. Вот чисто по боксу. Это мое мнение. Просто здесь есть такой момент. Ты можешь сфорсировать события. Раунд, 2. Но если ты его не финишируешь, ты очень много энергии потратишь. А потом надо в чемпионских боях.
Раунды, да.
А Хамзат не был в чемпионских раундах. По-моему, не был никогда.
В 5 не был.
Не был. А этот пацан последние сколько? 4 года? Еще до чемпионства. Да, главных боях.
Опыт у него колоссальный.
Да, у него опыт большой, надо учитывать. Просто, когда ты готовишься к такому бою, ты должен рассматривать все сценарии. Ты не можешь, я зайду и откручу. Ты должен смотреть, а если вот так пойдет, а если вот так пойдет, а если вот сюда зайдем. Ты должен все сценарии.
Former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker also shared his thoughts on the Dricus Du Plessis vs. Khamzat Chimaev fight, saying that Chimaev needs to secure an early finish on the ground. He believes Chimaev has the skills to take Dricus down, but warned that if the fight goes beyond the first round, it could start to favor Dricus. Whittaker described Du Plessis as a tough and resilient fighter who always finds a way to win if he isn't put away quickly.
Chimaev is going to get him to the ground. If he doesn't finish him there, I don't think he wins. That's just how I feel. I think if you can't get Dricus out in the first, which Chimaev can do. His first round finish is his thing, right? But if he doesn't get him out of there, I think Dricus looks good, looks very promising. He's a guy that if you don't get rid of, he kind of wins.
Robert Whittaker said it's hard to predict who can beat Dricus Du Plessis at the moment. He described Dricus as a fighter who wins through sheer grit and determination, someone who refuses to quit regardless of how the fight is going. Whittaker believes Dricus is the type of fighter who's more likely to beat himself than be completely outclassed. He added that as long as Dricus keeps pushing forward and digging deep, he's extremely tough to stop, but the moment he can't, that's when someone might finally get the better of him.
The best chance of beating Dricus at this point.
Hard to say. And I think Dricus is the sort of guy that will lose to himself.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the way he fights. So I think it's obviously with every fight is very heavy mindset driven. You know, especially for he's tough as nails and he never quits. And he beats a lot of people on the backs of him not going anywhere. You know, I mean, you see a lot of his wins that way. I think like the day that he can't push, the day that he can't find that.
Robert Whittaker further praised Dricus Du Plessis, calling him incredibly tough, physically strong, and a fighter who always puts in the work. When asked by Ariel Helwani if Dricus is the champion he envisions beating to reclaim the title, Whittaker admitted he would love to face him again. He said that of all the fights he wants to run back, the one against Dricus tops the list. While his fight with Chimaev wasn't easy, Whittaker sees a rematch with Dricus as the perfect way to finish. His story...
He's a tough guy. He's strong. He's physically fit. He puts in the work, you know. Yeah.
When you talked about that dream of winning the belt and riding off into the sunset, is he the champion that you're beating because you have the history with him, or does that not matter who has the belt?
No, I'd like to fight him again.
Yeah, is that one?
That would be the icing on the cake.
Of all the ones that you would like to have back, is that the one at the top of the list?
Yeah, it is. You know, because the Chimaev fight's a very different fight. Yeah, it's not super fun, right? But yeah, that's the one.
Robert Whittaker said he still believes he's better than Dricus Du Plessis, just as he does with any opponent, even after a loss. Reflecting on their first fight, he admitted that he let himself down by not entering with the right mindset. For Whittaker, it wasn't just about skills, the mental aspect made the real difference in. He wants the chance to set that right.
I do think I'm better than him. You know, but well, I think I'm better than everybody. Even when I lose, right? It's mainly that in our first pairing, I let myself down in that fight.
In what way?
I want to correct that. I just didn't have the headspace, the right headspace to go in.
Meanwhile, Anthony Hernandez shared his thoughts on the matchup, describing Dricus Du Plessis as a tough, awkward, and dangerous opponent for anyone. He questioned whether Khamzat Chimaev has truly faced a big, natural middleweight like Dricus from Robert Whittaker and wondered how Chimaev would handle that size and versatility. Ultimately, Anthony backed Dricus to win, believing his grit and durability would carry him through.
DDP's a tough, awkward mother. Chimaev has never fought like has he fought like, besides Whittaker, has he fought any like real 85ers? I'm curious to see how he does with the big one. You know what I mean? That can fight.
Michael Bisping also described Khamzat Chimaev as a relentless, all-out fighter who's always pressing forward. He called Chimaev a true finisher, someone who constantly pushes the pace and looks to end fights by knockout or submission. Bisping emphasized that Chimaev's aggressive style makes him one of the most dangerous fighters right from the opening bell.
He is a force of nature, and he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight-up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head up. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell, and that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins.
Michael Bisping praised Dricus Du Plessis for his impressive rise, highlighting his victories over Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya. He noted that Du Plessis is still improving and warned against underestimating his grappling skills. Bisping recalled hearing that Du Plessis once submitted an entire group of jiu-jitsu black belts during training, suggesting that Khamzat Chimaev could be caught off guard if he assumes the fight will be easy.
This man's on fire, right? He's on fire, right? He's 23-2 overall. He's on an 11-fight win streak. He's got 10 wins in the UFC, and of course this will be his third title defense. Beat Sean Strickland by unanimous decision. He choked out Israel Adesanya in the fourth round, and he took the belt, as we know, in a close split decision victory over Sean Strickland way back at UFC 297. But they always say when you become the champion, you get 30% better. This man is improving all the time. He's got tremendous grappling of his own. If Khamzat Chimaev thinks that he's going to go out there and just take down Dricus Du Plessis and just choke him out, right, like he's some schmuck, like he doesn't know what he's doing, like he's not someone that choked out an entire black belt jiu-jitsu team one after the other, then I think Khamzat Chimaev...
Mike Perry also shared his thoughts on the potential fight between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev, describing Dricus as a big, strong, and fearless fighter with serious power. While acknowledging Chimaev's skills and smart approach, Perry believes that Dricus' size and toughness would give him the advantage if the two end up facing each other.